Hi traders, thanks for stopping by thetradinganalyst.com. This is Taylor and we're going to take a look at a bunch of charts here and I'm going to give my analysis, I'm going to go over my thought process and give you a really good idea of what we're seeing and why we're seeing it so that hopefully you can learn and grow and get better as a trader and hopefully even take some profitable trading ideas from this video. But first, if you're not already a member at thetradinganalyst.com, give us a visit at the homepage of the website, www.thetradinganalyst.com, and get to know us a little bit better. If you like these free videos that we give to you guys on a daily basis, it's nothing in comparison to the membership you get once you sign up and join the premium membership community. As soon as you sign up and join the premium membership community, you're going to get instant access to the profitable trading alerts that our current members are getting and loving on a daily and weekly basis. It's a great opportunity for you to learn, to grow, and to get better as a trader, and most importantly, receive winning trade alerts sent directly to your cell phone in real time for both the buy and sell alerts. And the cool part is right now we actually have a special going on where you can save $100 off of the annual membership. That's right, I didn't stutter. It's our biggest discount we've ever offered, $100 off of the annual membership with the discount code StockTwits. We love the StockTwits community, and the StockTwits community loves us, so we really wanted to reward you guys by giving you guys this huge discount, and this is for this week only. So if you try to sign up next week, you're going to have to pay full price. Okay, so take this opportunity to save $100 off of the annual membership and start receiving winning trade alerts in real time. Wouldn't it be nice to start making winning trades in the market? The market is booming in both directions, and it's going to be really nice to have someone in your corner walking you through the market step by step, trade by trade, tick by tick. All right, so let's get into the charts here. The first one we're going to take a look at is Alibaba. And Baba here, what I want to point out is a couple of things. So we had this big move up right here, breaking over this resistance. And then, as you can see, we clearly got rejected and headed lower right there with this big gap down on some big volume right there. And notice how, as we headed higher, not a ton of volume, all right? Not a ton of volume. The volume was on this drop. As you can see right here, this is where all that high volume was. It was on the drop, okay? Not on the rise, all right? So what does that tell you? That tells you that this is where the most action was happening, and right here on a counter trend pattern right here that we've been in has been on low volume, okay? So, and notice how today on the break out of this little pattern here, we had that little pickup in volume, okay? Not too big, but definitely bigger than the average that we've seen here, okay? This is the biggest volume day since this last big red day over here, all right? So another thing I want to mention is the makings of this pattern. So we had this uptrend line, started here, couple bounces there, several bounces here, bounced here, and then we broke that trend line right here, all right? And here we are retesting the underside of that trend line right there, and that also makes this a rising wedge. You can see this is the top side of the rising wedge. Here's the under trend line for the rising wedge, and we broke out of that rising wedge today, all right? So today, not only that, but we have a little bit of a reversal pattern here. Yesterday, we had this close over the previous day's high right there, all right, with a gap up, all right? So there's that day, and then followed by today, we have a gap down right here, because this is where the open of today is, gap down, and a close below the previous day's low. So we have close over the previous day's high with a gap up, followed by a close under the previous day's low with a gap down. That is a reversal signal. We're out of this pattern here. I definitely think that Alibaba could be headed higher here. This is a trend down, and this is a little counter trend rally. And then I think most likely we're going to see, at the very least, some sideways trading here for Alibaba. So the next one we're going to take a look at is another one we've been mentioning here, is Baidu. Baidu, very similar. This is one, we talked about yesterday. We said that we were coming into this resistance point. We pointed that out to you guys, but we said we hadn't gotten any kind of a reversal signal just yet. So we pointed out previously when we came into the trend line, we had this topping tail right here. We had this topping tail here, and clearly getting reactions to this level. And yesterday, there wasn't any kind of topping tail or reversal signal or anything like that. It was just a strong candle into this resistance. And then as you can see today, we have a close below the previous day's low. All right, close below the previous day's low after yesterday gapping up and closing over the previous day's high. Same thing that we saw with Alibaba. Okay, so I definitely think that we could see some downside here for Baidu. How low does it go? We really don't know. But at the very least, I see some sideways trading. So if it doesn't go straight down tomorrow, don't shoot me a message saying you were wrong, because look at how long it took the last time for it to head lower after coming into this resistance and getting that signal here. It took, here's that reaction right there, and we didn't go straight down. We took another little mini dip, and then we came into it again, and then we finally went down after like 2 weeks. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of expecting here for Baidu. Is something similar to what happened over here. So we'll see what happens, but we got that signal here that we were looking for against that downtrend line. It's also a previous uptrend line. Started here, several bounces. Look at how many times it bounces off that trend line right here. Here's another bounce before eventually breaking below that right there and taking a pretty big dip. So here we are into both those levels after coming up here, and look at what we did. We came up here and we filled this gap. So maybe that's all that needed to happen, fill that gap before heading lower. So we'll see what happens, but definitely got to be aware of these levels here for Baidu. The next one we're going to take a look at is Facebook. Very similar action here. Facebook didn't quite break out of its pattern just yet. We're still within it, as you can see right here. But what I do want to point out is, I'll just get that line out of the way so you can see this pattern here, is that we have the same kind of thing that we saw previously. And by that I mean we had this gap up and close over the previous day's high right there, followed by the next day is a gap down, closing below the previous day's low right there. So that's a reversal signal. Again, we're still within this pattern, so not quite as much of a break as let's say Baba that we saw, but still is that reversal signal is still in play. The next one we're going to take a look at is Google. Google, same thing here. We broke into this gap. We pointed out that Google was likely going to get a bounce against this level here because we're into the gap. Same thing, we closed over the previous day's high. We closed over that gap resistance. But as you can see right here, we closed. I'm going to draw this trend line right here. Here we are, bouncing against this trend line several times. Here's a bounce. And then right here, that day where we close over the previous day's high, we have this bearish engulfing candle closing below the previous day's low. So, and we're back under this support. So to me, this is looking like a false breakout setup. I think that Google is likely going to head lower from here based off of this signal that we got today. So if not, if it bounces back tomorrow, totally possible. But I'm seeing a lot of these reversal signals here, and I don't think it's a coincidence. The next one we're going to take a look at is Tesla. Tesla, again, same thing that we mentioned here yesterday on these videos. We mentioned this resistance point. Here it is. Lots of times getting reactions to it. Again here. Again right here. And here we are again. We came into it yesterday, and we said yesterday that it was still a nice strong uptrend, but we hadn't gotten any kind of a reversal signal just yet. And we pointed out the last times that we had a reversal signal was right here, where we came into it, and then we closed below the previous day's low right there, and you can see big tank after that. Okay, same thing happened over here. We had this topping tail right here, followed by this gap up into it, and then a red close, followed by this red close again, and you can see got a little retracement back up with another inverted hammer right there before eventually making that big dip there. And here we are. Look at this. We're getting another of the same signal that we got over here. And what I mean by that is this day right here closing over the previous day's high, and then this day right here closing below the previous day's low. All right, same thing happening today. All right, came over here yesterday, closed over the previous day's high, followed by today closing under the previous day's low. So this is that reversal signal here. I think that Tesla is going to retrace lower from here. You know, how low? Well, we've got this support down here at 335, 336. So it could pause right there. You know, or we could be wrong and it could head higher. So really, you got to pay attention to everything here. Don't be too tied to these opinions, because you better believe that if we break over this, I am ready and willing to trade in the opposite direction. I really don't care where a particular stock heads. It could go, Tesla could go to 1,000 or it could go to 0. I really don't care. All I want to do is be capturing that move in that particular stock, and that's the way that you should be too, because that's how we get paid. We don't get paid by our opinions. We get paid by the direction of the stock and being in that move. So the next one we're going to take a look at is the next two we're going to be taking a look at are the two that have held up really, really well. Okay, we didn't get any kind of reversal signal today on Amazon. All right, that doesn't mean it can't head lower. It just means that it's holding up really, really well. We actually made a new all-time high today. Yeah, by a few cents or a few bucks, but still, we made a new all-time high today, and we had a higher high and a higher low than we made yesterday. Okay, so holding up really well. We've still got support below us right here at about 15, just shy of 1,500, and then down here at about 1465. Oops, that's not straight. Right about there, about 1460. Is going to be that next support right there. So Amazon holding up really well. Another one that held up really well is Netflix. Very similar look to Amazon here. Is that we're still trading above this support. We actually made a new all-time high today as well. Same thing as Amazon, with a higher high and a higher low. And we still have this support below us. For Netflix, it's at about 286. And that's the nearest support for Netflix. Next one, last but not least, is Apple here. Apple, huge move. Again, we called for this bounce against this support. Go back and watch these videos that we did back then, and you can see that. And here we are coming into these previous highs where we got rejected at last time, and you can see today we made an attempt to break over and then close back under it with a inverted hammer right there. So again, you know, these stocks that I covered here today typically define where the market moves. So that's really why I like to focus on these stocks, so you can not only get an idea of where these particular stocks are headed, but also get a really good feel for the market as a whole. So thank you for stopping by and watching this video. I really hope that you learned a lot and are going to take some profitable trading ideas from this video, because that's why we make these videos, for you guys to learn and to grow and to get better as traders. If you want to learn and grow and get better as a trader, even better as a trader, then sign up today with that discount code StockTwits, and you can save $100 off of the annual membership, and this is for this week only. And as soon as you do, you're going to get instant access to the profitable trading alerts that our current members are currently getting on a daily and weekly basis. Wouldn't it be nice to be one of our current members getting these winning trade alerts sent to you directly to your cell phone so you don't have to worry about taking the time yourself and worry and putting in that analysis, having someone, an expert in your corner guiding you through the market on a daily basis? Yeah, it would be nice. So take this opportunity to save $100 and get instant access to the daily member videos, the watch lists, the educational material, and the private Twitter feed community, and most importantly, those winning trade alerts sent directly to your cell phone, both buys and sells when we enter and exit a trade. And you can save $100 today using that discount code StockTwits. So join the community and start making winning trades today.